Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine, students. Okay, I am also fine here. Okay, shall we come back to our lesson, the ninth lesson, human resource management. Okay, there we have studied about the human resource, first features and significance. The same lesson we are going to learn about we have learned already the features of human resource management. Today we are going to learn two headings, one significance of human resource management and the functions of human resource management. Okay, that functions it will be similar to functions of management that we have studied in the second lesson. Okay, so first of all we will learn the significance of human resource management. Okay, what is that? What is its importance? First important, to identify the manpower needs. To identify the manpower needs. Needs of manpower. Okay, how many men or women are required, or that how many people must be appointed as the personnel in the organization, that should be identified. Okay, they have to determine how many number of men to be appointed in an organization must be determined, and it will be identified. Okay, that is very important. Many more people cannot be appointed, or many less also cannot be appointed. So that is the second point, to ensure correct requirement of manpower. Similar to this one. Okay, to ensure the correct requirement of manpower. Okay, manpower. So here there may not be any surplus of manpower or shortage of manpower, should not be there. That's why they have to identify first the manpower needs, how many we need, how many number of men, a number of women required in an organization, and that must be very correct. There may not be any shortage or any excess of manpower in the organization. Then third one, to incorporate change. So changes are always there, very important, that cannot change. Okay, changes are there, they have to confront that changes, they have to accept that changes. So they have to prepare. Okay, that change is always there, it is constant in any organization. So how to tackle that change in the organization is very important. So that will be done only with the human resource management. Okay, then to select the right man for the right job. Right man for the right job. Okay, to select right man for right job. So here that is called the selection of people. Okay, whether that particular job, which qualification people are needed. Okay, so that one should be identified, and they have to select the qualified people for that job. Okay. The next point, to update the skill and knowledge. Update skill and knowledge. Their work is not completed by placing a right man in the right job. Then they have to update the skill and knowledge of the employees through training and development program. Through training and development program, the knowledge or the skill of the employees must be updated. Okay. Then to appraise the performance of employees. Appraise the performance of employees. Okay, the employees' performance will be appraised. Okay, it will be, they have to whether their performance is good. Okay, good performers, they will be given some motivation. Okay, or the any deviation, the poor performers. Okay, poor performers must be motivated again to bring them up to their level. Okay, slow performers or poor performers must be motivated, or they must be given some extra training or development program in order to bring them prepared for giving more performance, good performance. Okay, next one. To improve competitive advantage. We know now the whole world is a competitive world only, isn't it? Okay, competitive world. Here if the employees are competitive or capable, only then that organization can survive, isn't it? And because it is global market, because of globalization, that privatization and liberalization and all. So they have to change they have to convert all the performers as good performers. Okay, only then they can compete in the competitive world. That is one of the significance. Then provide incentives and bonus to best performers. Okay, for the best performers, they will provide incentives and bonus in order to motivate them. Okay, it will encourage them to do more and more. Better, it will be better effective than the previous one. Okay, so the best performers must be motivated through some incentives or bonus. Okay, they can be motivated either financially and non-financial matters also. Okay. To determine employee commitment. Employee commitment. So how all the employees must be determined how much they are committed to the organization. Okay, in between they can give some questionnaire, or they can be conducted some interview. Okay, or they can be given some questionnaire to answer. Okay, so through that one they can appraise that employee's commitment. They can determine how, but they can analyze the level of the employees. Okay, whether they can lead the organization in a successful manner. Okay, or some if a deviation, they can rectify those deviations. And to emphasize socialization. Emphasize socialization. Because we know all these employees are social beings, or human beings are social beings. Okay, so there must be some social thinking must be there, because in the first lesson we have learned the management and the employees will be considered one and the same. Nobody is superior. Okay, so harmony, not discard, we have studied. So because of this socialization, the subordinates or the managers, all the pioneers, everybody will be thinking as one in the organization. Okay, then next one, to promote favorable employee attitude. So the attitude of the employees must be favorable, not unfavorable. Okay, employees' attitude towards the organization. They should have a positive attitude towards the work and the organization. Okay, and towards the management also. So if there is any conflict in understanding or confusions, then it will be very difficult to achieve the organization goal. They cannot accomplish their goals. So they have to promote always favorable employee attitude. Okay, then the last point, to provide scope for collective bargaining. Okay, collective bargaining. collective bargaining, here usually the employees will be constituting one union leader is to say, isn't it? UNITUC, then AITUC, many the trade unions available. So in order to get some immediate answers for their grievances, okay, so they may have some collective bargaining. Okay, that significance you might have understood. Now I will teach the next heading, the functions of management, human resource management. Functions of human resource management. HRM. Okay, functions. It is similar to the functions of management. Okay, here also that functions are divided into two. First one, managerial functions, the other one, operative functions. Under the managerial functions, we have 4 functions. Okay, planning like the ordinary function of management. Second one, organizing. Then directing. Third one, directing. Then the fourth one, controlling. So what is planning? We know what is planning. Planning is deciding in advance, isn't it? So what we have to do and how it must be done. What we have learned as that planning, primary function, that main function, subsidiary function. In the second lesson we have learned, that one only. Okay, what is planning? It is deciding in advance what to do, how to do, and who has to do it. Okay, so here only they will involve the objectives. They will plan the objectives, they will frame the objectives. Then the rules, regulation, policies, procedures, everything must be framed in this function. Okay, in this planning function. The second one is organizing. Organizing is what? Dividing the whole task into small tasks, and each task will be given to a particular person to do. And we should ensure the accountability. Who is accountable? Okay, who is responsible to do a particular work? That is called organizing. Okay, then directing. What is directing? We know directing means they must be guided. Is it guidance or guiding? Okay, guidance or supervising the employees. Supervising the employees in order to get the best result from them. Okay, and this guidance or supervision can be done through some manuals or meetings. Okay, or some newsletter, circular, through any or they can have an workshop or a meeting. Okay, through that one they can be guided, they can be directed. Everything we do this directing in order to get the better result. Okay, then the last one is controlling. Controlling means the actual result, the actual performance will be compared with the planned performance. Okay, the planned one or the standard one will be compared with the actual one, and they will find out the deviation. Okay, then they will take some measures or steps to overcome these deviations. Okay, that is called controlling, because they cannot leave that one as it is. So if a person is not up to their standard, then they may give some training or some that explanation. Okay, why and how they have to improve their skill and knowledge. Okay, so that is called controlling. Okay, the 4 managerial functions and again 6 operating functions available. Okay, operating functions. Operating functions, number 1 is procurement. Procurement is human resource management. So what they will do, that they will do the planning related to recruitment. Okay, first they will plan. Procurement means purchasing, isn't it? That means that human resource they are going to purchase. So first they will plan. Then they will recruit the people. Okay, recruit the people. And they will do the selection process. Each one is one lesson, recruitment, selection. Then they will place the efficient person, placement. Then as per their performance, they will be given some transfer or promotion. Okay, that is called operating function. Okay, first one procurement. Second one is development. They never leave after procurement. They will check. They will give some training. Okay, training or performance appraisal or some development program. Main thing, they will be given some training and development program in order to have the organizational development. First, that human resource must be developed. Okay, with the updated skill and knowledge, then only they can perform well and the organization development will take place. Okay, so development is the second operating function. The third one is compensation. Compensation, we can say the control or performance appraisal. They will do the performance appraisal and they will decide about the wage and salary. Okay, salary administration, or they may be given some incentives in order to improve their performance. Incentives, bonus, or any other benefits, fringe benefits we say, DA, okay, or the medical facilities, or house rent allowance, or free accommodation, okay. Then any other social security scheme. For free transport, okay, they can do many schemes for the compensation of the employees. Okay, then the fourth one is retention. What is retention? The people must be retained in the same organization for this purpose. They can this can be done through doing some health and safety measures for the organization, for the employees. Health and safety, or for any welfare activities. Here, free medical facilities will be given. Okay, then they may provide some that organizations transport in order to bring them safely to the working place, and the helmet, everything will be given for the constructive employees. Okay, then welfare activities, then job satisfaction. Job satisfaction will be there. Okay, all these are the retention. Then integration. We know integration, all the activities of the organization will be integrated. We can say here that individual interest or the personal interest. A person's interest is a one person, individual interest, and the organizational interest must be linked. Okay, there must be integrated individual interest. If there is individual interest only, then there will be organizational interest will be carried out. Okay. Then the last one is maintenance. So maintenance also like a retention. Okay. Here the same workforce must be maintained for a long time. Only over years they can gain experience and they can improve their performance. How they can do this one? Okay, by reducing the labor turnover. Labor turnover means the labor those who are leaving the organization, that must be reduced. If a person is appointed as a labor, he must be in the organization for years. Okay. Then for any audit program, okay, audit and research can be done. Okay, that the accounts maintained are correct. Okay, that audit can be done. Then research in any field. Okay, maybe as per the human resource now. So about the management and the employees relationship, whether it is done properly. So they can do some research, or research about the working conditions. Okay, or the customers and workers relation. Everything must be checked, and if they do all these things, only the working force will be maintained in the organization for a large period, so that the result will be good. Okay, that's all. Okay, we have studied. I will show you in the book that you have to learn. Okay, here the significance of human resource management, all the points you have to study. Okay, as per my explanation, you can study at least 3 or 4, you can no 6-7 points you can keep. Okay, then they have listed out the functions of human resource management, all the function, only these 2 paragraphs. Okay, then that the managerial functions they have asked to list out. Okay, then all the heading, planning, organizing. Okay, then the last question here, operating function is asked as the 5-mark question. Okay, so here 6 points available, all the 6 points you must learn. Okay, I will send you the pages, you can learn. Okay students, thank you very much.